Let's get it. Welcome to the Dear Son Show. We have meaningful conversations about life through the lens of fatherhood. It's for fathers, those with fathers, and the fatherless, so nobody's left out. These are the conversations we want our sons to access as they grow through life into manhood, so no topics are off limits. I'm one of your hosts, D. Johns.
I'm your other host, Jay Black.
Jay Black, how you feel, my brother?
Feeling good, man. We knocking these trips out.
Yeah.
There's summer getting by.
Yeah.
Summer passing on us.
You got a little break right now? You in a lull or no? Not so much?
From travel?
You leaving tomorrow?
Gotta ask my supervisor.
Oh. Look at the itinerary.
I think we here. I don't know. I need to check the calendar, but I think we here, but the rest we gone.
Yeah, the wheels is turning. Piece of shuffling, man.
What about you? What's good?
Feeling all right, man. Moving along in this process, keeping the folks updated with Donovan in his trade school.
Yes, Lord.
Like I said, we got a call today to see if we can clear. I'm not gonna say see if we can clear a hurdle. See if there is a hurdle.
Yeah.
So we got that first call today. Then he got orientation. I believe a week from, I want to say on the 18th or the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
And his born day is Monday.
Hey,
18.
Hey,
18.
Let's
So
go.
I'm gonna see what changes with me when he turned 18 officially. But yeah, man. Otherwise, he's still moving and grooving.
I like it.
You didn't drop yours off.
Yeah. He gone.
Yeah.
Not gone. Well,
Yeah, he out of here.
He out of here.
Yeah.
He down there at school. It sounds like it's a seamless transition for him. That first day,
Okay.
The jitters of not knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
But his mom, I think she quietly owned one on the cool. She's dealing with it good. She did really good. Man, I thought it was going to be a problem, but nope, she did well.
Yeah.
With the drop off. But now she still she got her eyes glued to that 360, that life 360. So, your son been in his dorm for 35 minutes and he hadn't called me. Easy.
You know what's gonna be funny?
If
I don't think he's that type. I ain't gonna put it on you, B. But when he realized that his mama think he wherever his phone is, well, I guess they need the phone. They can't do it without their phone.
Yeah.
And dating myself. By the time we got cell phones, I was definitely out the house.
Yeah.
And that would be a thing, to leave your cell phone if you was moving a different way and you ain't want that leash. I don't know if the kids today can actually.
I don't think they can cut loose like that. They need it.
Yeah.
They need it.
Yeah.
It's a part of everything.
We got cell phones. At first it was emergency. That's when my sister got hers when she went to college. She had the big brick, the 5-pound joint.
Yeah.
And then when I got one, it was still flip phones. And I think I said it before, you couldn't really put names in there. You can give it like 10 slots.
Right.
To put numbers in.
That's all it
and
is.
you had to remember who was who.
That's it.
So in your mind, you had to have a structure of what each number meant.
Well, we knew numbers back then.
True.
Yeah.
True. I still know my parents have had the same number for, about 40 years now. 30. Yeah. A cool 35.
Easy.
A cool 35.
Easy.
And I still know that number. I still know the number of some of their friends, my godparents, because they never changed. I don't know their cell phone numbers, but I know their house numbers. Yeah. And they'll definitely pick up those first, man. But let's get right into it, as you would say, man.
What we got?
We always going hard, not hard. We always going pretty direct on our children, specifically the boys, because it's under the guise of their son. But it's a parenting. This is a parenting platform.
Yes.
Through the eyes of fathers. Like, share, and subscribe. Also, let's do this early because I know people don't be watching to the end. My physical book is available. Dear Son, 20 Life Prompts to Facilitate Effective Parenting. It can be yours if you want it in your hand, like it's in my hand right now. Support your boy.
On the top end.
Ebook is available too. I know some people don't get to that's normally in the last 30 seconds. We're going to start getting that off early. But yeah, we go pretty hard on these lessons, and especially with the boys going into manhood.
Yeah. Next
phase of life. My pops pointed out something after the last episode, which he every episode is his favorite episode. But he was like, y'all should spend some time talking about the happy parts of fatherhood. I said, I know we had an episode about being grateful for our children probably a year and a half ago.
Right.
But it's time to revisit. People change, people grow. Do we still like them the same?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But I want to put it through the, of course, the lens of the boys, because again, they've been carrying the topic.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know about B, but Donovan hasn't had he likes the reels when he see him. I'm like, okay, he cool.
Yeah.
He cool with that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it'd be, I don't know how I would have felt at 17, 18, 19. My pops putting stuff out there like that. So
right.
They good sports.
Good.
They good sports.
Yeah.
I like your entertainment. So yeah, man, let's what do we love about our boys? This is gonna be a loving on our sons episode, man. What has over the past year, because I think it's been about a year and a half since we had that episode.
Yes.
And enough of y'all didn't watch it. So anyway, we'll hit it again. But what makes you smile about being a father, about being a father, period?
I'm drawn to, or I'm enjoying rather, the my sense of humor in my children.
Okay.
And that's saying a lot because especially Brain, man, middle Bishop
take over the world
is and a lot of times as a parent you think your child is the ist of whatever. You may not say it publicly. You especially sons, we tend to jug at them like, man, sit down.
Yeah.
But honestly, I kid you not, honestly, me personally and my wife, we laugh out loud at this guy, man. He tell these corny little jokes. But
with a
they're
straight
not really
face.
corny no more though. Like he because we kind of be like, he worked on his delivery.
He been in the lab.
Yeah. So he's been in the lab. So I truly enjoy their transitions and it's almost like you can look at my son's faces and watch them think their way through something. And that I tell people all the time, man, me personally, parenting keeps me young.
Yeah.
And it keeps me on my toes, fresh with, there's a lot of things I write off that I wouldn't halfway pay attention to, but because it's a thing from Bryson all the way down to Boston.
Yeah.
Right. That's 19, 9, and 7.
Yeah.
So those are 3 different 9 and 7. They're closer to the things that they enjoy, but even that
it's about to separate. Yeah, it's about to separate.
Yeah. So the different things that they're into, if you're tapped in, they kind of draw you into things that if you're out in the public, you'll see something that typically will go over our 40-plus-year-old heads.
Yeah.
But you're connected to it because of them, and I enjoy that.
Yeah, watch when they separate schools, and either of them sees an opportunity to have their own identity.
Yes,
I saw that with Eden and Eli because they're 2 years apart as well, and now they're in that space because of how Texas. I don't know what Texas is. I don't know where else it happens, but the way they got the school set up, the grades set up, they won't meet again until high school.
Right.
So Eden will come home talking about a thing and her friends, and it's different because it wasn't the same assembly. They didn't see the same things. They didn't see the same child fall. That kind of thing is interesting. And what keeps us going in this house is the banter.
Yeah.
So Eden and Eli, they are 10 and 11 today. Eden will be 12 in a couple weeks. And they have a daily quarrel about something. It's just how it is, right? I guess it's how it is when like my sister and I 5 years apart, we had spats, but it wasn't like we were in each other's face all day. They actually still stay in the same room. So they in each other's face and they have very strong opinions. But they were having a quarrel about something. And they were communicating their points. Mm-hmm. And Eden was trying to tell Eli that he wasn't clear on what he was saying. Eli says, "You're not using your inferential skills." I said, wait a minute. But it was
unpack that thing.
But it was accurate. It was accurate, and then Eden understood it.
Yeah.
I said, man, I got to teach him how to fight. I got to teach him how to fight because he going into that phase where he gonna be sword in his words, and I got to make sure that whenever they land, either he track fast or that boy can throw, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not speaking that on him, but he kind of got it honestly. And because they're younger and they have a pack of older siblings, they try to play up, and they got to be as witty or outsmart them. And because they can't physically take them, it's a word battle.
It has to be.
So you got to be sharp in this house, or you end up kind of the butt of the jokes. You got to get yours off.
Or else.
Or else. But I'm loving that, man. He went through soccer camp. Speaking of Eli, he went through soccer camp. Eli's my youngest. He went through soccer camp first week of June, I believe. A few weeks ago now. And it was just interesting seeing him step up to the process because it was his first time. He has a love for soccer, like we talked about last week, walking around the house, air dribbling with the older boys.
Yeah.
His thing is soccer. So he's going to be kicking the ball. He ain't broke too many things. He done knocked a couple things over, but he gonna be dribbling the ball through the house. And it was to that point where it was in his mind, he believes he's at a certain level.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But nobody's in front of you, son. Nobody else is kicking at the ball that you kicking at.
Excuse you.
Yeah. So it was interesting to see, and he didn't know anybody there. That was the other thing, because he came out of his shell, I would say, a little bit later than the others. Like he was always, you always knew he had a mind and a brain, but like he wouldn't be loud.
Right.
But now he's getting to that point where he's like, nah, I'm showing up. Nah, give me the ball. I'm taking the ball from you, kind of thing. So it was interesting to see his him being assertive, which I was kind of a concern. Like, how are you in the pack of other people, other children your age, and they might be bigger, stronger, faster. And it was good to see that. He never let up on any of the drills,
right? Even
when they were initially tough. I didn't see him quit, man. So I was happy to see that, man. It's those things where you, in your mind, you just don't know.
Right.
You're not sure. And then you hope for the best. And I'm anxious to see where he's gonna take it, because he said he's serious. He wants to. That was the precursor to actually really like investing, because everything around here is a mortgage payment to put these kids in anything.
Who you telling?
So
speaking of who you telling, we've been on a break from everything with activities.
Yeah.
With everybody, and well needed, honestly. But like we do music and sports, right? So there's electronic drums and keyboards and guitars at the house. So they were playing basketball and a couple other things, and we stopped everything because they were falling into the rut of, they think they're out here just for fun. And that's cool. That's cool. But because you're also trying to get a dual benefit from this thing, not so much as, you need to get really good at this and go to the league. That's not the focus. The focus is dedicate yourself to something that you're doing, right? So I enjoy that because, again, when they really truly enjoy something or love something, you can watch, they'll come remind you it's time to go do it. Yeah. It's time to go get into this. So again, this is another thing that will not allow you to be, lazy or laid back or sitting back like, I got to go do this. I got to go do this. So there's this, the infamous trampoline, right? There's a trampoline inside my house, people.
Oh.
Upstairs in this area, right? There's an area upstairs of the house that real life trampoline, not don't do this. Not outside. It's not the big stupid, but it's a moderate, home appropriate, if you will, size trampoline in one area of my house. And I kid you not, the boys jump on it literally 365 days a year. I've never seen them use anything like this. My wife is beefing with the trampoline, though. She's over it. She's been over it. And jokingly, for 2 years now, probably, that may be a stretch, year and a half.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on them to not use the trampoline for like a week straight. And that's my cue that I could throw it out. Nope. Every single day. So here's the thing. Now springs are starting to pop off.
Maintenance.
Because they use it so frequent. And so she's like, yes. I'm like, nah, this is something they really enjoy. So this is a joy of parenting moment. You know how usually you don't run into this until grandparents come into the picture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I say you can't do this, and the grandparents slide that old thing and their trampoline show up at the front door, and you're like, I said, you can't do this.
And they'd already texted them about it.
I'm already that guy with the trampoline with my wife, though. And I'm kind of like, man, Ace Hardware, Home Depot, 3 springs, that boy back in business. Because it's not like it's inoperable.
Yeah.
It's like 50 springs on it. 2 have snapped. That's easy.
Yeah.
I throw 2 springs on. She's defied. She threatened me about I better not put the springs on the thing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. They've gone to the grandmother's house for the rest of the summer. She plotting for the trampoline to be gone when these boys get back. Do you do that? Do you do that?
It's gonna be loud. They coming right back right before school. They're gonna come up, crash out, the trampoline gone.
So now I say that to say when they come back, I'm trying to have piano back lined up and waiting.
Yeah.
He was getting lessons, but his piano teacher, she passed away.
Oh.
So again, got to get basketball kicked back off. Got to get these things in place because if she get rid of these boys' trampoline, man, here we go.
What's the difference of, again, because we always lean it on the older boys.
Yeah.
Like, what are some of those aha moments or them lessons learned with the older ones that are adjusting how you deal with the younger ones, if any? And I can say for me, if you know, because I dropped that on you, engaging with my children at a much higher level, much more frequent rate. And that's probably not your personality. That definitely has been my personality.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see the difference in just from like the start of this podcast over the last couple years,
mm-hmm.
how much more relatable I've become to Donovan.
Right.
And even in that, my focus has been unfairly skewed to Donovan because he's the oldest, while Eli he's more of a keep to himself kind of person. Well, Donovan is to a degree, but Eli is I'm happy by myself if I got to be kind of person.
Right.
Like you get that boy a box, some scissors and some tape and he gonna build a computer.
Yeah.
That's just how he is.
Yeah.
So catching that cue early enough with him to start having conversations. And I realized that he was more drunk, like going to his mother, not because it was a preference because I didn't talk as much.
Right.
Right. And now that he's older and we have conversations, I ask him, he's like, you didn't seem to be as open or as fun with mom or as talkative. I'm like, man, I was almost down the path of reinserting the cycle that I was trying to break with Donovan,
yes.
With my youngest son. And Donovan would be 18 and he'll be, so 7 years apart. I try to be a lot more intentional about having conversations with him. And now what I'm finding is because I'm home during the day and Keisha's gone, when he hit that stove fire up, like that's our thing now.
Yeah.
He like,
yeah,
you smelling. Man, yes, that boy is so funny, man. I cooked yesterday. I was in the zone. So I cooked a few things.
Oh, come on, Black Power, right?
As it appeared that the meal was done,
yeah,
and I didn't say anything, I went and sat down because I was giving it 5 to 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
He goes and puts on the oven mitts and starts lifting stuff up to see if it's worth the wait or what we got what we really doing. I know it's 10 minutes from now, but like he just seeing his personality now and how like he might be a little extrovert.
Yeah.
But like he's both. He thrives around people and by himself. And just seeing that part of him, man, I'm glad that my attention was arrested and everything that happened in corporate happened with me before I was about to go down that path again.
Right.
With my youngest son, probably to a greater detriment too.
Absolutely. I learned through my older son, just not from him telling me, but observation.
Yeah.
That I was parenting through assumption. I was assuming you knew how to do things. I was assuming you've seen this, you've picked up on it. Again, putting me in his shoes. That's not how it works. So when it was time for something as simple as changing a tire, changing oil, I kind of learned that in the street against, other friends, or we may have been somewhere and something happened and it had to be done right there in the moment. So it was done in front of me. Yeah. And I kind of absorbed it, if you will, osmosis even. So now things came up with my older son and I was like, hey man, go do this. And he's like, I don't know how to do that. You never taught me that. And I was blown away to hear him say some of the things that he would tell me I don't know how to do. Well, the way my mind works now, I'm like, I had to analyze that. Well, if you don't know how to do that, you probably don't know how to do this, this, or this.
Yeah.
The first time I learned, my son didn't know how to pump gas. I was like, you don't know how to pump gas. He's like, what do I do? What do you mean, what do you do? So the whole process, we take for granted that there are steps to everything, right? Like get out of the car, go to the pump. He was like, do I go inside and pay? Do I pay right here at the, I was like, man, he always in the car. That wasn't a thing as a kid. When I was a kid, I jumped out of the car to run around and watch my dad.
Yeah.
Obviously, we went inside and paid. This we talking about the 80s, you know.
I still go inside.
So go inside and pay, then come back out, go to the back of the car, flip the license plate down, unscrew the unscrew the gas, and the key because he got the lock and cap.
That's true.
So nobody can steal his gas. All of these things.
Yeah.
I take for granted that we pull up all the kids and the phones and the tablets.
Yeah.
So I don't have time for this. You hop out, you pump the gas, and you go. Where you're really doing your children a disservice.
Yeah.
Of they're not watching or seeing hands-on things. They're in a society of now or microwave or technology. So now I had to pull him at his big age and all right, let's go. You're right.
Yeah.
Stand at the pump, show you, run your card, run the pump, do your thing. Obviously, show you that one time you got it. Now let's go change the tire. Nothing wrong with the tire, but jack this vehicle up. Pull this up. I told you about the oil changing experience. First time I told him check the oil. You checked your oil? He was like, what are we talking about? How do we do that? So again, pulling the dipstick. So now, because I saw that was my flaw with my oldest son, I'm intentionally now taking the littles like, hey, come do this. Come see this. Come watch this. I'm actively pulling them into situations to where now you need this exposure that you were supposed to be getting that I failed your brother a little bit on. He caught it, but caught it late.
Yeah.
He got it when he needed it. These aren't really skills that you're supposed to get when you need them.
Definitely seeing that now with like yard work. And we mentioned it before because the yard work isn't as frequent, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was something to do in the yard at least every couple of days.
Right.
My dad would find something. Like I remember digging the edge of the yard so it'll have a nice bevel to it, I guess. Like he wanted that thing to sit back off the driveway, off the concrete about an inch. So we out there.
Not gonna get these trade secrets up like
out there with the with the shovel getting down to it.
Yeah.
And it's things like that that now are natural to me. Like if the edges are so overgrown and the weed ain't getting it, just grab the shovel, clean it up, get that thing right, and then it'll be easy to clean up. I remember my son asked me, dang, I'm gonna tell him my son, because he cutting the grass thing is him, but he was like, how do you use the edge thing? And it was like you. I was like, what? How do you? It's a battery. It's a battery. You ain't even gotta. It ain't no two stroke. Ain't no special oil mix. So no nothing. But it wasn't specifically come out here. And the other thing was my pops didn't play the whole I'm outside, you inside.
Oh no.
If I'm outside, we outside. And to be fair, as much as he could, when I wanted to be outside and play basketball and stuff like that, he come out there with me. So it was a time of bonding and instruction that I didn't really understand and appreciate then.
Right.
And I know that's an area of weakness for me now because I'm in my mind about when Eli's gonna cut the grass. He's 10, but my dad told me it wasn't the age. He was like, when you get chest high to a lawnmower, your leverage is there. Like he ain't want you reaching up for it, but when you chest high to the lawnmower, you can push that thing straight.
That time.
So, matter of fact, that might be this week because I told Donovan to cut the grass yesterday.
Yeah.
What he heard was the last instruction that I gave him was cut the backyard, and I did that specifically because it's gonna be a point. But this ain't again. This is not one episode.
Not a bad.
Yeah, this is not one of the episodes we're going on that. But
something that's standing out right now is the joys of how near and dear the relationship should be with your children. And I'm headed somewhere with that because a lot of things that I'm dealing with my dad right now is there are I didn't grow up in the house with my dad, right?
Right.
So I grew up in the house with my mom and I visited my dad for summers, like 2 months in the summer, every summer. So now my dad has medical things that are presenting, right? So now I'm doing things and putting things in place on his behalf. But part of that is the cycle of life.
Yeah.
So we have to enjoy our children now and pour into them and teach and show them things like responsibility, but like happiness as well,
yeah.
joy. And that way, when the shoe is on the other foot, we go from taking care of them to one day they're taking care of us.
Yeah.
So now they have to, it's sad to say this, but they have to now reinstill some of the things that we placed in them as children. Sometimes in our elderly stage of life, we've forgotten joy. We've forgotten happiness. We've forgotten how to diligently do things. So now I'm constantly calming my dad down, man. He's always rared up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we'll go somewhere and he's instantly on go mode, trying to make sure nobody's trying to get him or take advantage of him or manipulate him. But there was a time that was my approach to life. And he laughed like, come on, son. Relax.
Yeah.
Relax. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So now I hear him when I say that to him because I'm having to calm him down. So that's a joy to me of parenting where I'm looking at the memories that I share with my children and I'm pouring into my sons and telling them things that I feel like some of the things that I say to them, I can almost see this gonna double back later in life.
Yeah.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But because I'm actively seeing, I'm having flashbacks because now I feel like I'm in the middle of a portal.
Yeah.
And I'm tying the two generations together. You know what I mean? They remind me of my childhood. And then some of the things I'm doing with them remind me of things I've seen my dad do and say to me.
Yeah.
And then vice versa, to where now as I'm talking to my dad about things, like he just had a house fire. Right. So now I'm back and forth between here and Houston, and I'm trying to find him a rent house right now and convincing this guy to go from his house to, because at first I was like, man, just get you an apartment. You don't have to cut grass for a year. We're going to do a little 12-month, and that way we build you up, rebuild the property. I don't need nobody on the other side of the wall for me, son.
True.
Already.
True.
All right, well, let's find your rent house. But the importance of don't parent or do something with a loaded intent. Just do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Right. Pour the love into your children. And these are seeds you're sowing, you know what I mean? To make these better human beings and individuals later in life. And just so happen, perhaps you may benefit from that later in life. You never know what life has in store for you.
Yeah, you don't want it to be conditional when it's your time.
Yes.
Like how they feel about you that day, whether they put you in the right nursing home or not. I mentioned on the same episode, I mentioned my dad had a visit to the ER.
Yeah.
And they still doing some tests. He went and got an MRI. And he's back to him to a degree. But I realized, like I said before, just the aging and the how finite life is.
Yes.
My dad has been talking about death. Not a lot to where it's morbid, but in a let's have a conversation that we want to have that you won't regret when I'm gone because we didn't have it. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
And it used to like really annoy me to a degree because I guess honestly I wasn't prepared for him to go.
Right.
And I don't know that you ever are, and I'm not thinking down that path, but he in his age and in the stages that we both are and how invested he is in me as his son and what that means to the future generations, he's telling me things that are uncomfortable, but we need to have the conversation.
Necessary.
When he was in a better space after the stint with Vertigo, he was like, my prayer wasn't, God, take this away from me. He was like, thank you for what you've given me. If this is it, I'm fine. You've been more than faithful. You let me see all that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And again, while that's connected to a conversation about him no longer being here, I realize how important it is still to me that my dad is proud of me.
Yeah.
Like that he feels comfortable enough with what he invested into his family being able to sustain after he's gone. Because I that's got to be like that. That's one of my, I don't know if it's an irrational fear or a rational fear. Now it's like, man, especially having gone through last year and thinking I was going down that path.
Right.
It's like, man, if I go, what are they gonna do? If I go, would they know? Would they know what I feel? Well, if I go and I don't know how they feel about me, like that stops for me then.
Yeah.
They can say it after, but it's of no benefit to me. You know, there's no real conversation about it. So it's those life events, like you were saying, adjust my perspective on like what really matters. Whereas if you go too long and life is coasting and you get a hiccup, that thing might burn a hole in you. You might be upset, you might be annoyed.
Right.
But then when you kind of step back in the grand scheme of things, oh, hold on, life really been kind of cool. And this is just something we got to get through.
Yes.
So I'm starting to get more comfortable with those conversations. And again, this is not speaking anything, but because he's lost his parents, I saw him lose his parents. I saw my mother lose her parents. We never really had conversations about it. And specifically on my dad's side, that's not a thing that we talk about in the family.
Right.
In that same conversation, I found out why my grandmother died.
Wow.
In 2019. He said it like she had this. And I think no. And I think the way he said it wasn't like he was telling me for the first time. He
assumed you knew. See?
He was like, these are things, you know, my father, this, my mother was up. And I didn't stop it because I didn't want to belabor it, but I was like, no. Because right. I think I've said on the podcast before is I don't know exactly why.
Right.
Because she declined very quickly. And again, we were already living away. So it's like you come home and visit, and if a year apart she looks the same, that's the norm.
Yeah.
But in a year, a lot of things can happen.
A lot.
If you go 2 years, you come back and I'm like, man, this is not.
Can't even recognize it. I'm telling you.
Like, can they recognize me? And then again, I don't want those moments to have to happen. Like they say, let's have the family reunion, not the funeral. Don't let the funeral take the place of the family reunion.
No,
like
right.
let's be intentional about that. So I'm learning to find joy in the everyday things, even though things are, there's still battles that we fighting in a lot of areas of life. So I guess the message is, like you say, and it's a repetitive message, like be grateful now.
To piggyback on that, the joy of and living in the now, I say all the time about focusing on time stamping. And again, my mind is always working and looking at situations. Like I'll be in the moment, but something will happen, or I'll say something, or somebody will do something, and then it'll resonate.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, man, I'm driving. There's no music, no. I'll look up and I'm 30 minutes driving and I haven't even turned any music on. However, dropping my son off pointed something else out to me, man. And when I was leaving, I hugged my son and I told him I love you, man. He kind of looked at me like, I love you too. It's not that it was awkward for him. As I look back, it's not a norm. And as a dad, and I know this will speak to more fathers than mothers, because
you'd be surprised.
Mother, well,
yeah.
You're right. I don't want to make that assumption. Yeah. Young children, they're easy. They're going to run up and I love you this and I love you that. They're so emotional and in touch with feelings. Everything's just a ball of joy mostly.
Right.
When is the last time, or how frequent can you honestly say, I won't even go back to 13. Let's say you have a 16, 17, 18 to 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Teenager, 13 to 19, 15 to 19. How frequent, since your child made 14, 15 years old, have you said, I love you to your children,
mm-hmm.
especially to your son, father to son? And again, I'm not trying to leave out or negate the mothers or mother's love, or maybe even there are some moms dealing with that as well, or can even self-check and say, don't tell my baby I love him. But I'm pretty certain that there's a disproportionate number of dads that don't express the words "I love you" to their teenage children, more so teenage sons.
Yeah.
That is a real thing that your son needs to hear, because now we're releasing these young men into the world and they don't have emotional balance. Like we joke or even speak without joking all the time about that emotional balance and emotional intelligence a lot of times come from mom.
Yeah.
It's like a duality. Dad gives me these tangible, hard-nosed things to do in life, structure and do this and completion. And then mom, she's my softer side, love and affection and communication and all of this. Imagine if your son sees those things in his father.
Yeah.
It'll reach even deeper into who he is, into his foundation. Like, it's really okay for me to do this, because if I receive it from my mom, I know my mom loves me, but in my mind as a man or as a male, she's supposed to be soft. She's supposed to be feminine. Maybe I'll receive those lessons as feminine traits and they don't really resonate with who I am, because it's like, you're trying to woman me. No. So now if we double back, and dad has this emotional intelligence, but he's not sharing it with his sons, we're now doing our sons a disservice. So imagine the impact you'll have on your own son to say to my son, hey, nothing wrong, I love you. If you say that, if you go up to your son right now today and say that to your teenage son, I love you, and any other reaction other than business as usual, like, love you too, dad, kind of like, what's wrong, you good? If it's a shock, if there's a elephant in the room feeling or an awkward silence, or that should be an indication that, ooh, I'm lacking in this area, but it's fixable.
Yeah.
I can address that in real time right now. I need to tell my son I love him more. I need to show my son I love him more. So now if I'm more interactive and showing more interest in what he's doing and what he's interested in, if you want to play the video game, maybe I don't need to bash you all the time by being on the game. I might need to pull up.
Yeah.
If you playing basketball on the game, I like basketball. I can tolerate that. Put me on the game, son. Let's go.
Yeah. Show me how.
Show me how.
My son actually taught me that.
Really?
Yeah. He I say it as frequently as I do now because of him.
Yes.
Because my wife comes from a I love you, I love you, I love you every time we see each other, family. I knew I was loved, but it wasn't a check mark.
Mm-hmm.
But that's even well, no, I'll use it in this sense. It wasn't a check mark in terms of things that went through my mind that needed to happen.
Yes.
Not check mark in the sense of saying it flippantly, but like, no, these are the important things. When I'm coming in the house and I'm leaving the house, my son, if any of my children walk out right now, they're gonna say, I love you, Dad. Or they're gonna look in and be like, because we're recording. Right. But it's something I had to learn to normalize for me. Like, they normalize it for me. And that's one of the big things in terms of changes from my oldest son to my youngest son. I can initiate it.
Yes.
Now. Yes. Right. And it's an expectation. And again, not in the sense of we do this out of routine. Even if it is out of routine, I'm not mad at it, because at some point it might click.
Right.
It might click that it was more than a routine.
Right.
But that's something that I think for men, and I can speak in generalities about men, I haven't spoken to all men, is that we think that a message is getting across even if we're not saying it.
Right.
Because of our lens.
Yes.
I knew my dad loved me.
Yes.
He, like, even no matter how gentle or toxic the relationship was,
mm-hmm.
some people would say, well, that's, even when they get old, well, that's just how they love me. Right. And there's not this sense of ownership in terms of changing it for your family. It's the assumption, like you said, living through the lens of assuming
yes.
that my actions are enough, and they either get it now or they'll get it at some point, but whenever they get it, it's cool. And it's not, we don't have the luxury of time with life. Like, life's crazy.
Right.
And we don't see it as crazy until a crazy thing happens to us or hits close to home. It's very finite, man. We can't afford to play around with any of our children. I think there is a specific focus or a heightened sense of focus with our sons to help them learn how to regulate and understand and interpret their emotions.
Yes.
Because I mean, it's a lot of angry children, man. I mean, angry in the moment, angry for a long time. And sometimes I feel, like we can run the risk of feeling disconnected because that's not what happens in our house.
Right.
But through having these conversations with more than just you and I, you start to realize that everybody's story ain't your story. And, perhaps if we extend a little more grace, we have a little bit more room to understand and kind of hopefully shift the narrative and kind of work through these things, man. So
Something you just said stood out is as dads, as parents, because I don't want to leave parents out, because moms, they go hard as well. Sometimes we as fathers get so caught up in the drive, the push, the motivation. I even said last episode, I was like, hey, if I have to be the villain and you have a chip on your shoulder to prove me wrong, and that's what causes you to be successful in life, I'm okay with that. But even with that, there needs to be a boundary.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a such thing as I can push you to hate. And now that chip is not just towards me, it's towards authority.
Yeah.
It's towards society. It's toward anybody that comes at me and it's not what I want to hear. If it's not soothing, then it's a threat.
Yeah.
And I'm either angry or intimidated, and I'm going to lash out at it, because I could never really lash out at my dad. But now that I'm out here in these adult streets, I'm not taking that from anyone anymore. So anybody that lashes out at me, this is what I'm going to do. This is going to be my rebuttal, if you will. So the last thing that I told my son when we dropped him off was, I said, no matter what happens here at school, with college, with your college career, focus on making yourself proud. If you're proud of yourself, we're going to be proud of you as well. If you're doing something that you are less than happy about, or you're ashamed of, or if you're ashamed of it, you should not be doing it. Make yourself proud. Don't come here and put undue stress on yourself, thinking I have to achieve these goals, or I have to look a certain way, or make certain accomplishments while I'm here at college to impress or get the approval of my parents. Transition into adulthood, make yourself proud, and then communicate. And then if there's any assistance you need or uplift that you need, obviously we're here for that.
Yeah.
I even say obvious, but I have to say that to you. Don't assume that we are or that we are not. We as parents will assume our children know that we're here for support, but the child will feel like, all you was talking about was when I was time for me to get up and go to school. I felt like that was it. That was my stopping point. I'm on my own. Man, the biggest prison a person can build for themselves is in their mind.
Yeah.
So now if you bar yourself or barricade yourself in a corner thinking it's me against the world, I don't ever want my children to have any type of remote thought that it's them against the world.
Yeah.
No, man, we're a network.
I'm glad you brought that up, man, because that's the thing that I'll say in closing. And I'll speak for you on this one.
Yeah.
I normally don't do that. You can tell me if I'm lying. I've observed your children enough, right, in the house and around, and even when they don't know that we're watching.
Yes.
And my children, I think they all have a temperament that will lend to their success, right? Where they're not flying off the handle. Not that they don't get mad or upset, but they have a healthy respect for authority. They can kind of evaluate a situation as it's happening, not out of anger and argument, but out of, let me understand what's going on before I fly off the handle, man. So I think that's going to serve him well. Of all the things I say about my son, I think that's one of his strongest traits is his temperament.
Yes.
Even it's not that he doesn't get mad. Well, let me back up. Because we addressed it, and I was angry at him because of how he managed his anger, and he let me know I never taught him how to manage his emotions. I said, oof.
That accountability, mirror.
Yeah, well then, that was one of them assumptions about, and even that was a poor assumption because how I managed things for a long time was, you're not going to hear me yell, but you're not going to actually see a whole lot of respect either, because I might just get quiet and walk away. Yeah. And I'm like, how many times has he seen that? And sometimes we get together, high five and justify, well, I just walked away from him. right? A son at an age of accountability and observation, seeing his dad walk away from his mom without any kind of context,
Right.
believes that's the thing to do, right? And,
Yes.
and again, on top of that not being a broad stroke approach to being the right thing, then there's the temperament of the lady that you're dealing with. Like all of those things matter. And at the time, we weren't having conversations about that.
Right.
So, it's be accepting of the indicators from your children, even if you don't like the initial delivery.
Yes.
Because he wasn't disrespectful when he told me that. It was actually a very calm conversation. And I was like, it was like, son, you can't deal with it like this. And basically he was saying, well, I don't, how?
Right. What it look like.
Like,
right.
how do I deal with it? Like I've never been taught that.
Yes.
So I had to own that, man. But again, man, I'm proud of all my children.
Yes.
We stay on the theme of sons because we've been riding them, and that's the handle of the show. But I'm with all of the pseudo frustrations as we present them.
Yeah.
To get others thinking about what's going on in their home.
Yes.
Like I thank God that I have the children that I have. We're gonna get through whatever these bumps and bruises, twists and turns as they go into adulthood, and everything gonna be fine.
Same.
Everything will be fine.
Same. I thank God. I feel the exact same. And like I said, I appreciate that compliment, and I feel the same about your children as well. They're not hotheads, they're not irrational.
Yeah.
So in the moment, you can see the wheels turning. They're like,
yeah,
that don't really make sense to me, but
yeah,
okay, I got you. So the adjustments are actually in real time.
Yeah.
If they see something, even another kid see something the kid doing, they like, no, that's not the thing to do. You know what I mean? So I enjoy that. But like you say, this, I'm just trying to be more mindful of my timestamps.
Yeah.
Living in the moment.
Yep.
Being appreciative and enjoying being a parent. Sometimes we take parenting as a job and a chore.
Burden.
And a burden.
Yeah.
But don't forget the joys of parenting.
Yeah.
Because too often you'll be sitting at a store and you sometimes with young children, it's like you're trying to herd cats.
Yeah.
But then you'll see an elderly couple or a table full of elderly people, or even one, they're sitting off in the corner just smiling and watching. And then they'll come kind of pat you on the shoulder and say, enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
And you kind of looking at them and, in the beginning, like, man, get out of here. I'm trying to get these jokers something to eat so they can go lay down. They're like, listen, you're going to blink and they're going to be leaving off for college.
Blink twice.
And then you're going to be wishing that you had this noise
Yep.
around the house, because the deafening of silence that you're about to experience once those children have went off and started their lives,
Yeah.
you'll wish for these days again.
And you're going to be sitting there with either joy or regret of how you showed up or didn't show up.
Yeah. Yep.
And ultimately, they ain't asked to be here. So
Right.
You brought them in here. We always talk about, you brought you in this world, I take you out. How about we just prepare? How about that, man? I think we had a good spot, man.
Yeah.
It's weird now because I did my did my advertisement. My advertisement, my godfather used to say, get these advertisements.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm thankful. Challenge, yeah, that's what it is. So if you made it this far in the show, hop in the comments if you haven't already and tell us what you're grateful for. Y'all like to chime in when you riding with us when we frustrated about a thing.
When we pop it.
Ride with us when we being grateful for our children.
Yeah.
You got anything else in closing?
No, that's it. Just timestamp, be mindful, and enjoy those kids.
Bet that, man. That'll do it for this episode. We appreciate you guys. God bless you. Peace.